right, here we go here. You Are Dead have to win this to stay alive right now. For clarification's sake, You Are Dead up north, Immortals down south.
Yeah, and just taking a look at the lineup, well, not both teams actually. For You Are Dead, they have gone 2 T32s, 2 T69s, and an AMX-13, so a bit lighter compared to what we saw last game. And this time, actually, the Immortals going with that AMX-13, they did bring a Tier 8 light tank to this game. They have a T32, an IS-3, and 2 AMX-50s as well.
Yeah, so definitely I have to give actually these lineups are really similar. Actually, I actually really like how You Are Dead went with those T69s because those autoloaders might be able to provide a lot of backup cover. But look at this, the Immortals actually going for a push right now. They haven't fully committed just yet. They do have some slight cover due to these ridges and the slopes of these small hilltops. At the same time, they did take a little bit of damage though coming into this position.
Yeah, that was very nice by You Are Dead, getting into position fast enough so that when they saw Immortals going into their position, they were able to get a few pot shots, and that's going to put Immortals at a pretty big disadvantage going into the next firefights that we're going to see.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, if the Immortals continue to push onto this, definitely it's going to be easier for You Are Dead to possibly come back in this, because although usually the team on that eastern side has a slight advantage because it's like easier just to fight from that position, especially if you're facing a team who's defending more towards the center/west area of the map. Although they do have a slight advantage there, the Immortals have taken, at least. So PNL took one shot and Iron Bus took another shot as well. So that's a total of 2 shots already that have landed on the Immortals, and that could potentially lead to an outnumbered situation if one of those tanks actually manages to go down.
Yeah, I have to say, I was talking about maybe the Immortals be really aggressive and do something here in this final set, especially because You Are Dead is a bit nervous probably. They just lost that game. Immortals do have the momentum. But after taking those shots, it's definitely going to be a lot harder. I mean, it seems like they do want to still be aggressive. They are sending 2 of their tanks up here with the AMS-50 backup in the back, but they're not going to go for that crazy, full-on push that we saw last time, especially on this map because it's so open,
Yeah, definitely not. If the Immortals go for a full-on push, definitely it's going to be extremely hard for them to pull out this victory. They have to go in with vision first, and that's why they're actually using the Sirius and another of those T1s to kind of go in front of the heavier forces and then, just be out there to provide vision for the team. And PNL is actually leading the troops right now also. He has not spotted any of those You Are Dead forces though, and You Are Dead have actually spotted a couple of those Immortal tanks. So just vision-wise, information-wise, definitely advantage has to go to You Are Dead now. But position-wise, I still have to give an advantage to the Immortals.
Yeah, Immortals very slowly pushing up here, being very careful, especially after taking those shots. But You Are Dead as well, they have very good positioning here. After getting into that fast position and doing this couple of shots, they've backed off a little bit, gone a little bit more west, because they're expecting this push. This is what the Immortals do. This is what they're expecting. There's so many heavy tanks, what else are you going to do? And You Are Dead, they know this, and they've gotten into a really good position behind a lot of these rocks, on top of some of these hills, and I feel like if You Are Dead starts to get the first shots, this can go badly for the Immortals, actually.
It definitely could, because You Are Dead are continuing to land a couple shots here and there onto those Immortal members. And if this continues to happen, then eventually Immortals are going to be way too low to even attempt to push. Yeah. So they got to be careful if they actually want to pull this off here. What I would recommend is that they actually don't push from this edge. Actually, I would actually recommend for them to retreat, or maybe not retreat all of those tanks, but keep maybe 1 or 2 of those tier 8s over there towards the east, and then set the other 2 even down the central road or even the west. So go for a 2-prong push, especially against this lineup on You Are Dead side. They're all defending the eastern front. They're all their turrets, all their tanks are pointed in that direction. So it's going to be extremely hard for the Immortals to penetrate that.
Yeah, I think if the Immortals could get over there, and they do have enough time, there's still 5.5 minutes left in this game. If they do go around the bottom and up towards the left, they definitely can take You Are Dead by surprise.
Yeah.
Could be a good idea, but it just seems like they do, like you said before, they do just want to stay back here, get this position, and try to find out where You Are Dead is and go into some kind of firefight. I think they have that confidence at least. That is usually what they like to do. They just fight with all these heavy tanks straight up. And I can't see the Immortals, especially them, doing that kind of strategy, but it could work out. I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, I would send I'll send like a T1 over there towards the. But they have spotted. You can't see it on our map right now, but the Immortals have spotted 2 of those heavy forces on You Are Dead, so they now know slightly where those Immortal or these You Are Dead members are positioned. At the same time, they're still at a point where they can't push. Yeah. They still cannot push.
They definitely cannot push. I mean, You Are Dead, as the Immortals come up, they're moving down. It's kind of just like responding to what the Immortals are doing, and that can work. They're being very defensive. On this open map, if you go for some kind of big push, or if you go for a base capture even, if the other team has such good position, you just can't really do that. It's just not really that possible.
Yeah, and I like what You Are Dead are doing right here. They're kind of relieving the pressure from that northern part of the map and using those T69s to maybe draw and spread out the focus of the Immortals right now. And none of the Immortal scouts, they do have a T1 kind of back at the hilltop at the starting position. But other than that, really nothing to stop those members of You Are Dead to progress down there to the starting position. And if those T69s plus the T1 manage, I don't know if it's a T1 or Cognac Wine in the AMX13 accompanying those T69s, but if those 3 tanks can completely dominate that southern starting position of the Immortals, and then use that position to maybe get some shots from behind the front line, then they could come out on top. And this is what I was talking about is, you know, you can't, like, neither team can push onto the other team because they're undercover. Yeah. And because this map is so open, it's a lot easier to land shots if you come out of cover. And at the same time, if you want to go for a push, if you want to have any chance of penetrating the defense, you know, in equal footing, like having an equal chance to win the engagement, then you got to go for a Juke-round push.
Yeah, it's so true. And I mean, You Are Dead, this idea is so good, but they're running out of time. Immortals are going to go for this push. They have spotted that tank in the bottom, and they're going in strong. They know that they have the advantage in tanks. They know that they can take out a bunch of tanks. This is their strategy. If they pull this off, this game is over, and they go to the next round.
Yeah, definitely. So You Are Dead might have made a small mistake right there, allowing one of their tier 8s to be spotted, and that T69 also being spotted down there towards the southern part of the map. So Legacy Janna is in trouble now because all of these Immortal members realize that at this current moment, they have the outnumbering situation, so they're just going to go in for this and going to focus on Legacy Janna. So Legacy Janna in some trouble right now. He's going to go down so fast.
Oh, Legacy Janna, 1 health. He does go down. This is going to be big. They just take out a big, heavy tier 8 tank of the You Are Dead team, and they're pushing more. They want blood. They're going to go for this. It seems like You Are Dead's response to this is just to try to go for the base capture quickly, but I know that the Immortals are going to send back 1 heavy tank and stop that, at least until they clear out a bunch of these heavy tanks and continue the push.
Yeah, it definitely should be fairly easy. There are probably, there's only 2 tanks over there at the base capture, so they should have enough time if they could move right now to stop that base capture. And look at that, Catan might go down here. Blackhawk lining up for the shot, but Catan's still alive here. He does go down, so it is only a 8 tier point advantage going in favor of the Immortals right now. But look at that, Iron Buzz actually going down to try and take out Blackhawk. The base capture does get delayed, so it looking really good for the Immortals.
Yeah, Immortals are responding very well. Iron Buzz is almost definitely going to take this out unless he misses a bunch of shots, and he's going to take that victory, and they're just going to go back and stop the space capture. I was saying before, You Are Dead did not push in time. They had to go earlier.
Wow, look at that critical shot, just finishing off, I believe it was Iron Buzz. No, it's actually Blackhawk maybe.
Yeah, it was Blackhawk.
Yeah, Blackhawk being taken out there. The base capture is still going on though. It's at 70% completed, but it should be, yeah, it gets delayed very easily by Savant right there, and he should have no problem actually doing plenty of damage to these tanks as well. Look at God Cow and Cognac Wine both taking so much damage at the same time, and it looks like our first round winners will be the Immortals and be progressing to the next round and facing off against Yo Iron Man.
Yeah, wow, this is just very well played by Immortals. They responded to all the information they were given. They saw that tank at the bottom and they pushed immediately. There was no delaying, and that's what won them in this game. If you take out 1 tank, you have the advantage in those tank numbers. You just win, you know? If you go up in those 1 tier 8s, unless something crazy happens and you continue on and keep on trying to take out these tanks, you're going to win that game.
Yeah, the second